You look gorgeous.
Hi, guys. Thank you. You look amazing, too.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. First, before we get started, I just want to address the elephant in the room, guys. Everything that could go wrong today went wrong. I know I'm queen of trying it, but I just want to thank every single one of y'all for being here, being patient today, and Black Tech Fest, again, for having me and being so flexible considering all the fires it took to get here. And thank you, everybody, for being here and waiting.
That's so lovely. So I thought we'd play a little icebreaker.
A what?
A little icebreaker, just to kind of, exactly.
Let's do it.
And obviously you're in London, so the first has to be London focused. I am a subscriber of yours, so this is a full circle moment for me. So we're going to do a this or that game.
Okay.
So baked beans or grilled tomatoes?
Are we talking about British baked beans? Are we
the one and only, Jackie.
Oh, child. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say grilled tomatoes, even though really it's going to be neither.
Yeah, because why don't you like baked beans?
No, I do.
You do now?
No. American baked beans, it's not the same.
Really?
It's not the same. We make them completely different.
What's the main difference?
They taste good.
Okay. Okay.
It's very sweet.
Okay,
sweet.
fair.
Y'all are good at other things, though. I don't hate all the food here. Y'all are good at other things.
So we know you're a fragrance queen as well.
Absolutely.
I feel like you got the best collection in the world.
Thank you.
Just, yeah. And she smells amazing. She smells amazing, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you could only have a collection from MFK or Huda Beauty.
That is so rude. I have to pick one or the other? Okay.
One or the other.
I mean, Huda and Mona are bae.
Mm-hmm.
I'm strictly going to say this. First of all, team women always, period.
Always.
I'm going to go with K. Ali.
Okay.
I would choose K. Ali only because Francis Kirkjian has already created his legacy, and we're going to make room for someone else to do it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. See, women supporting women.
Period.
The best thing.
Women first, period.
All right, so Instagram or TikTok?
Ooh. Okay, TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
You are TikTok queen as well.
Yeah, TikTok.
Your TikToks are great.
TikTok is too much sometimes, though.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. It's an interesting platform, but we'll get into all of that.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. All right, lovely. So your first video on YouTube came out in 2009, right?
Yes. Technically, yes.
And what inspired you to get into YouTube?
Depression.
Okay.
Depression, and I was going through a lot. At that time, I was really going through a lot emotionally, like just midlife crisis vibes, early 20s, just like, where's my life going? Yeah. I needed a distraction. And to be quite honest with you, it just so happened that it kind of just over time took off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't at all where I was like thinking at the time. Like it was just like, I was just going through it, looking for a community, looking for a way to express myself. And I found that through YouTube.
That's amazing. And when it did start taking off, did you see it building the career it's built for you now?
No, not at all. No.
Really?
I didn't think, well, because you have to remember, in 2009, nobody knew where social media in general was going. So I didn't foresee it. I was just like, this is something fun that I like doing. If I can make money off of it, great. Yeah. If not, I'm not counting on it. It's just there. And I just kind of went with it.
Yeah, but then interestingly enough, though, with your videos, did you ever think of having like a niche? Because at the time you started, obviously looking back at beauty with black women, it's more like we can't use certain colors of eyeshadows and our colors have to be dull and certain shades and suit us. But your first videos, you're very colorful in them. Was that intentional?
Yeah, that kind of was my niche.
Yeah.
Because if any of you guys have been on social media as long as I have, there was a time where like, this is going to sound like a hot take, but I promise you, you had to be there. It is not a hot take. So in 2009, like black girls specifically were not really like into makeup like that.
No, we weren't,
at all. It was like natural hair, natural hair, natural hair, natural hair. nobody cared.
Yeah.
Like they were there, but it was like a really small sub community.
Yeah.
I think of like the Black beauty atmosphere. And it was obviously wildly popular because people were buying products, but it wasn't as, I think, prioritized.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was like, well, I don't want to show people stuff that we've already seen on dark skin. Like, I want to show people like how to push the envelope a little bit further, how to wear color, how to wear reds, how to wear this, how to sculpt, how to, you know, accentuate your facial structure. Those are always the things that I felt like when I went to a makeup counter, people were telling me not to do under the guise of, well, you're Black, you don't need makeup. And there was always like, I was always met with that.
Yeah.
And so it just got so annoying. And then that was kind of like another subdivision of why I started my channel.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, honestly, nobody's teaching me how to do this stuff. I'm going to just figure it out and show people as I go. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
So that kind of was my niche, was showing people, dark-skinned people specifically, how to do things that otherwise you'd see on like an Asian skin tone or like someone who's white, and like tweaking it for your complexion.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like the company you worked for at the time, you worked for a makeup brand. We wouldn't say the name, just where I'm going with the question.
Don't say his name?
No, we wouldn't say the name.
Okay.
But did you feel as though at work, being a makeup artist, you could be as expressive as you were on your YouTube? Or was it like restrictions in terms of?
No, they didn't exist back then.
Okay.
So it was kind of like when jobs, I would say a year after I started my YouTube channel, that's when jobs were like, you do social media or you work for us. And it was like they would make you choose. So that started to happen before, like I got in earlier before that. People were made to make a choice.
Okay.
So I didn't really have to. However, there weren't company policies in place at the time.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily mean I wasn't like met with a little haterism. Like it was just like people was kind of hating. It was just like, don't be mad the girls are in here asking for me and I'm new. Sorry. Like, why you being a hater?
Exactly. Did you end up quitting them?
That. Yeah, it was kind of like, it's almost like hazing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it was like some of my, not all of them, but some of the people that I worked with were not as like friendly about it. But it wasn't like a boss was telling you, you can't do this. It was just kind of like, ew, why are you doing
That's definitely the spirit of hateration.
Oh,
yeah.
beyond.
That's a lot.
And then being the only Black girl there was...
Oh gosh, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing.
But yeah, it was like they would say it, they would say it without really saying it. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all can hear me good, right? Okay, perfect.
Love it. And when did you make the decision to go full time? Did you quit?
Technically, no. Okay. So my transition from being like in the workforce and also in the military at the time, and a full-time content creator was kind of circumstantial, not intentional. Like I'm putting in my 2 weeks. It just so happened that like this opportunity would not work out, or it just so happened that this door would open, and it just kind of naturally happened. But it didn't take me until year 6.
Oh wow, to go full time.
And it was not even balling like that. Like it was just like, okay, like I don't gotta ask my parents for money, but like I still need more of it.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to have a day job, but like I'd still like
need
more money. Like, it was like, okay, I can sort of sustain myself.
Yeah.
So that was year 6 for me.
That's amazing. I was gonna say as well, one of the things I absolutely loved about your videos was how honest you always were.
Yeah,
you were very
honest.
When it is about advocating for people of color in the beauty industry, that was your thing. And one of my when I knew that you really do practice what you preach, was I can't remember what the situation was, but there was a brand that came up with, you know, a range for Black, darker skin tones and everything. And there was another YouTuber who's big as well and I think she didn't get the package, or she wasn't on their PR or something like that. And I think when she did her video, she said how you had kind of shared your package with her. I can't remember who it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I have done that before.
Yeah.
I don't remember which particular launch you're talking about, but yeah, girl, get the views. Like, if you didn't get the package, I mean,
That's amazing. So
it doesn't hurt. Like, I don't lose nothing from like, here, I have it, use it. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. So with your honest reviews, did you ever feel pressure of speaking out against massive brands and the collections that they had?
At one point, okay, so that's a bit of a trick question. Yeah. I don't feel pressure to do anything that, like, anytime you've seen me do something, for the most part, it's because I authentically felt that way. But do I sometimes feel like people put,
like you're the spokesperson now? It's
almost like that's a you problem. That doesn't affect my community collectively. So that's just like not something that I would highlight. But I do feel like sometimes there is pressure to unnecessarily light a flame to things that in the grand scheme of things don't really affect us.
Yeah.
I know that's like a very vague way of answering that, but it does happen because I think sometimes people see like, well, you have a lot of followers, so you have to now use them for everything I think you should use them for. Yeah. And I don't necessarily think that's a smart way to move in general. I mean, look, you can't fight every battle. It's impossible. Like,
that's true.
You cannot, to be honest with you, if I really talked about every single disadvantage, I wouldn't get nothing done. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't have time to exist. I wouldn't have time to work. It would just be a perpetual loop of complaining about anti-blackness, colorism, racism, featureism, texturism, every single
the isms.
and all of the things that cross over each other that apply to me, intersectionality. But I can't, and I refuse to, because I'm still a person, and I like having a balance.
This is it.
So that's always really, really important.
Yeah. How do you have that balance, though? Because I think, did you ever feel kind of lonely calling out brands and feeling like it was just you doing it, or just tiring? So how did you take care of yourself in that regard with having to speak out about so many things? How do you step away from that sometimes?
So this is something I think the past couple years I've gotten better at navigating.
Okay, good.
Because although I don't necessarily need help with certain conversations, like if you feel led to talk about something, you should.
Yeah.
But there are times where like I've blatantly received like, okay, so there have been times where I've said things about brands and they didn't like it and they retaliate in a really, really awful way. Yeah. Sometimes behind the scenes and sometimes publicly. Yeah. And it gets annoying when it's like, why are you texting me seeing the disrespect, but you're not tweeting about it? Like, I would do the same for you. Yeah. That, I think, is a responsibility of privileged communities. Like, if you know you have an advantage, if you know that people are harder on people who look like me, you should say something. If you know that your colleagues are not being paid as much as you, you should say something.
Use your platform.
Guess what? Yeah, use your platform, but also guess what? Know that having privilege means that your job is more likely going to be saved than it is my job. I can blink at somebody the wrong way and they'll say I was difficult to work with. They'll say I was problematic. They'll say I was this, I was that, I was there. But not being black means that a lot of times you can step into rooms and just
smile. Look cute.
Yeah,
and that's it.
we'll pay you we'll pay you 3 times more. So like utilize that to help other people. And when you see other creators just going through it, like you know, like it doesn't hurt to like say something. But also I'm like a big advocate on like if your brand is also not calling out things, then please don't. Like, it's not by force. It's okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
We don't have to force what's not there.
I hear you.
You know.
I was going to ask as well, so when it comes to networking, because around the time you started YouTube, it was, you know, when you're younger and you see like your favorite TV shows kind of come together and your favorite, you know, people come together. With YouTube, that's kind of what it felt like when you see your favorite YouTuber collaborating with someone else. Yeah. How did you navigate networking in that space? And knowing who to collaborate with as well.
And what?
Knowing who to collaborate with.
Oh, okay, collaborating is also really hard because there's like the creative side of being a creator, but then there's also like, okay, let's schedule it. Let's talk about creatives. Let's talk about like brainstorm what we would actually do. That's something, I'm not gonna lie, I've always struggled with. And there's so many people that I'm like, I would love to collab with them, but then when it comes down to actually executing it, you fail. But lately, I've been like expanding my team, and like I now work with a producer. So I have someone on my team that helps me handle all of those things.
Oh, that's amazing.
So all I have to do now is literally just show up and film with people.
Show up and film.
So and it takes the like wonky part out of like the planning and like, you know, out of the hard part out of it. So I think now I navigate that by having help because it's not easy. And honestly, even when the other person that you're trying to collaborate with is also busy, you have to also factor in the communication on their end. It's just, it's a lot. It's not as easy as it seems. Very, very difficult to do.
I hear you. So with content creating, it's significantly changed from what it used to be and what it is now. And I think a lot now, especially in the UK, we kind of went through an era where it wasn't enough to just do makeup. You kind of had to show your personality, let people into your life a lot more. And with you, you have a great way of giving people a little that makes them think they know a lot about you. And I want to know how you do it. They think they know everything.
Okay, girl, so what was I doing last night at 9 p.m.? Since you know everything. Like, okay, so what color is my drawers, girl? You know what? Honestly, like, I love the community building aspect. I think that's the best part of social media. Yeah. But I think social media is going in a really interesting direction.
Very interesting.
To say the least. Like, the best way I can describe it is like, it's just interesting. Like, I see things and I'm like, wow, I would have never shared that, but go off.
Well, here you go. Exactly. You go off, sis.
Okay. I see a lot of very interesting things. Yeah. And I just stick to doing stuff that really feels authentic to me.
Beautiful, yeah.
Like if I feel good I have to feel good every time I hit send. Yeah. So that's what I try to focus on.
That's really good. I was going to say as well, with everyone that's been watching you for years has known that requests can come in about whatever. Try this foundation, try this, try whatever it is. But house tours, it's a no-no. And then the other day, I was minding my business, scrolling on the gram, and I see Jackie Aina house tour. Big up Tayo Aina as well, amazing guy, big up him. And I said, I was like, how did we get here? What? Jackie, what happened? What inspired that? I never thought I'd see the day, I'll be so honest with you.
Did you watch the video?
Of course I did. Of course I did.
I'm going to say this.
Your house is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Your house is absolutely gorgeous.
Anybody who thought that video was a house tour,
okay,
don't watch my content. Anybody who thought that video was a house tour, was not paying attention to my content because I literally showed like 3 rooms.
Yeah, but that's 3 rooms more than we've ever seen, Jackie.
Not really. That's the same.
We only ever see the backgrounds. Sometimes it's blurred.
I was like, this is the same tea, but I was like, okay. Honestly, it was a bit of like a. I didn't plan the title, and also it was just supposed to be an interview. Yeah. But yeah, and people were commenting that like, oh, we've already seen this, and I was like, yeah, I never said this was.
This wasn't going to be invasive.
But it was such a good interview. Like,
it was a good interview.
The conversation
really nice.
was good. Like he's really good interviewing.
It was really, really good. So I want to get into Black Girl Luxury because you are literally a walking poster of Black Girl Luxury. And what do you think about the trend? Like, do you agree with the tag Black Girl Luxury? Or do you just think luxury is luxury?
Nah, because Black people do everything different, better, more lit.
Thank you very much. Period.
Like, I'm sorry, there is a difference. Sorry. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of existing in that space. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're like actively thinking about, but you know, it is what it is. People like it, people love it, people hate it, whatever. It is what it is. Speaking
of luxury though, Forever Mood, absolutely amazing, amazing brand. How did that idea come about?
Really, 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 truly being a fragrance lover since childhood. Like truly, truly, truly. Like that's really where my confidence came from. Yeah. My personality came from. Yeah. My love for perfume then naturally migrated to my love for home fragrance. Yeah. I'm so big on like experiences. Like when you meet someone, you can have a great conversation or a great first impression through conversation. but also like you're gonna remember if someone doesn't smell good.
You will.
Or if they don't smell like anything.
Yeah.
Or if they smell phenomenal, right?
You remember that, yeah.
And then I also feel like it's the same way when you step into someone's home. Like the way that a space in the home smells, I think says so much about how well it's taken care of or what you prioritize.
Yeah.
So that was always something that I wanted to tap into myself.
It's amazing.
And there were really specific things in the market that I noticed were missing.
Yeah.
From a price perspective, from a marketing perspective, from even a product line perspective that I wanted to target. So me and my fiance, Dennis, where is he? Dennis, where is he?
Big up, Dennis.
He's over there. Can't miss him. 6'3". Yeah, we just honestly like. I don't even think the brand would exist without him being like, nah, let's do
amazing.
it. Let's do it.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Your career it's been absolutely amazing watching you grow and just watching you like live in this success. And I know obviously it wouldn't always be, you know, roses and, you know, smelling nice and stuff. What would you say has been the biggest challenge you faced building your career, and how did you overcome it?
Being black. I cannot overcome being black because I'm going to be black today. I'm going to be black tomorrow. I'm going to be black when I'm gone. So every day I just have to live in my blackness and just figure out how to navigate life. And especially when you're of a particular complexion.
Yeah.
I think that's been the biggest, especially because beauty is a very superficial industry.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when people see a thumbnail, they're like, I'm not interested. She doesn't look like me. You know, I'm not racially ambiguous. I can't pass as something else. And so, unfortunately, it exposed me to a lot of very closed-minded people.
Yeah.
I would get like really interesting comments. Like when I started to go like mainstream and my content really took off. This was honestly before women in beauty who looked like me like were able to do that. And I would get comments, and people would be like, "Oh, I'm white, but I love your videos." And I'd be like, girl, what? What do you mean, but? Like, I'm confused. Like, I watch white YouTubers all the time. Like, huh? Or they'd be like, oh, my friends make fun of me because I watch you. I'm not
really?
black.
Oh, that was a bad friend.
That's how people think.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is, like, black people literally watch everybody.
This is it. That's so
We
true.
literally watch everybody. We support everybody.
That is so true.
Maybe a little too much.
A lot. We might need to gatekeep a little bit. We do.
I don't know.
That's a whole other conversation for another day. We do.
Close that cookout.
Yes, exactly. So invite everybody to
close the cookout and start taking them to Whole Foods. Okay, take them to Whole Foods. Take them to Erewhon. Okay, tell them that's what a cookout is.
Exactly. We've got to wrap up, but I wanted to ask, what do you want to be known for? Like, what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh my God, I actually feel like it's bigger than me. Like I actually want it to be about what I did for other people and the community that I've built and how people can feel, not that I did this for every black person, obviously, but I want to be remembered for how I made people feel like in themselves when they look in the mirror and empowered in our complexions and just to embody someone who just stuck through it, even though and when I say every odd was stacked against, every odd was stacked against, like someone who just was like, go this way, go around, take a right, take a left, detour. That's what I want to be remembered for. And everybody is absolutely capable of doing it too.
Absolutely. I love that. This has been an amazing, amazing interview.
Thank you.
I wish we had longer.
I know, but thank you guys for having
me. You've been fantastic
me.
to speak to.
Thank you.
Honestly, you deserve all your flowers. You've been amazing, and you continue to inspire so many people. So congratulations on everything you've done and everything that's coming.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.